Hey guys, it's Caitlin here and welcome back to another collab video. Now, I don't actually know whether this video will be coming out first or second, but I do have two collabs going at the moment. One is a group collab and one is this collab that you guys are seeing here. So I have no idea which one is first or not. If this is first though, be prepared for another collab coming out soon. It's pretty cool. But yeah, let's talk about this collab because this is what we're doing right now. This is a build collab with the amazing Ziistel on YouTube. Now, the actual idea for the collab was created by Chrissy York. She put out a collab challenge. Now, most people do build challenges, but nobody has actually, at least I think nobody has put out a build challenge that was to be done in a collab. So I quickly wanted to credit Chrissy York for this challenge. There are two reasons I decided to do this collab. I really wanted to do a collab with Ziistel because she's a really awesome YouTuber. She's very kind on Twitter, very friendly, and I've just been wanting to do a collab with her. So I approached her and asked if she wanted to do a collab, and Chrissy York is also a very kind simmer. She doesn't have a YouTube channel, but when she created this challenge, I knew I wanted to support her with this challenge, and I figured what better way than inviting Ziistel, because I knew Ziistel would love to support her as well. So yeah, that's what this is. You know, this video is going to be based on, and it's called the, I don't know if I mentioned the name yet, but it's called the Object Swap Challenge. So there are two versions to this. It's really funny because I actually had no idea there were two versions. When Chrissy posted it on Twitter, she had posted two, you know, attached two photos with all of the instructions and everything like that. For whatever reason, I assumed that the two photos were exactly the same. So I only read one and I saved, I did actually save both to my phone though. I saved both images to my phone but assumed they said the same thing. So when we went into it, Ziistel was doing version 1 and I was reading the rules from version 2, so a little bit of confusion there until Ziistel mentioned that there were two versions. I was like, oh really? I had no idea. And I was like, that would explain why I took a screenshot of both of the pictures. I honestly always thought there was only one version, so sorry about that, Chrissy. But I will actually read out the rules to you right now. So we did version 1. So version 1, rules for the builder. So you have a builder, and a decorator. So Ziistel was the builder, I was the decorator. So Ziistel's rules was to build any kind of lot with a layout, windows and doors. Add 1 or 2 objects to every room, which she definitely did do. Do the landscaping in any way that you want. And don't add any wallpapers or flooring anywhere. So those were her rules, and she definitely did stick to them. And for mine, swap your build with somebody else. So I went into the decorating. So my rules was don't change the layout, doors or windows. Don't switch out or change the color of any of the pre-placed objects. You can change the color of the doors and windows, not their style or placement. You must use the pre-placed objects in the room they're in. So Ziistel actually came to me with the idea of building an arcade because you could do whatever lot you wanted, which is really funny because I'm always so close-minded when it comes to doing builds, and my automatic ideas is just to go ahead and build a residential lot. So it was really cool when Ziistel suggested doing a family arcade. I was like, that's an awesome idea. You know, I haven't built an arcade in The Sims yet. I mean, I kind of did, but it was more of a bowling alley that I built. Which actually isn't on YouTube anymore. I deleted that video because I wasn't really happy with it in the end. But yeah, so Ziistel mentioned that she was sort of going for although she couldn't add any wallpapers or any flooring or anything like that, she did tell me that she was kind of going like for an alien type of theme or whatever. So I was like, oh, that's cool. It gave me something to work from since I knew what she had kind of envisioned when she was creating it. So when I went in and decorated it, I kind of wanted to make it look a little bit like a spaceship with you know, that's why I used a lot of black, and because she's got like all of those little windows around, I felt like those were like you know when you look at a spaceship and they've got all of these little circles or windows. I felt like that was kind of what she was going for when she did that, so I tried to incorporate it as being the windows of the ship, and I used some like little wall, I don't exactly know what you call them, wall vents or something like that, between each space of the window, just to kind of make it look a bit like they were vents of a spaceship, you know, like metal pieces of the spaceship. I also used like metal flooring as well to kind of make it look a bit like it was a spaceship, I suppose. And I went in and added like a few of the alien plants from the hidden objects menu or debug menu, just into the landscaping that Ziistel did, because I thought it looked really cool at night, because I chose to use those light up flooring and wall panels just in some sections. Like you can see there, like the blue little sections, or turquoise or teal, whatever color it is. Since they glow at night, I really kind of wanted to bring the glowing into the gardens as well, which is what those plants, like, it's very subtle. Those plants have a very subtle glow, but they do glow, so I wanted to add those ones in. If I am being honest, I did actually have difficulty with this challenge. I'm not sure if Ziistel had difficulty, but I had difficulty because, I mean, I always have difficulty when it comes to furnishing other people's lots every time I do a collab, because I don't exactly know what direction they were going, like as in, you know, when you build something, you sort of have an idea in your mind where things are going to go and such. So I didn't really know how Ziistel had sort of planned for things to sit inside the build, so I had to try and come up with a layout that I thought worked, and I think it's alright, the layout. I mean, I think there are a few things, like when I watched it back, I think there are a few things that I could have done differently, but overall I think I'm pleased with it. Also, I really like this part that I'm doing now. I created like a basketball hoop, like, you know how you go to arcades and they've got like hoops, like basketball hoops, and you got to shoot as many hoops like in a minute or something, and see who wins. You like go against somebody else. I decided to kind of like imitate that by using the basketball hoop, and then I created some sort of, like, you can't see it yet, but I created some sort of like thing to hold the balls, like the basketballs, and I think it was really cool. Yeah, I would actually have to say that I think the basketball game, when it comes to arcades, I think that's one of my least favourite games, because I suck at it. I'm naturally not good at shooting hoops, so I just really suck at it. The other person always wins. They just get hoop after hoop in, and I just never get. Like, I get maybe one or two, maybe slightly more if it's a minute, probably slightly more, but I always lose, so I never like that game because I lose. Actually, when I was working at Burger King, so if you guys don't know, I was living back in New Zealand for 4 months last year around this time, and I was working at Burger King. I don't know about, I can't speak for other countries like America or Philippines or, any other country that has Burger King, but in New Zealand, in our Burger Kings, there are quite a few Burger Kings that have like a little section or a little area in the store that's sort of dedicated to like a little arcade area. I think it's called like Time Out in New Zealand. I think they call it Time Out or something like that. I can't quite remember, but there is like one store in my hometown that has like a little section that's completely cut off. Like, when I say completely cut off, like it's in its own little room. It does have glass windows and glass doors though, so of course it's still like connected to the store in some way. But then there are other stores where the arcade is more in the open. So in the Burger King that I worked in, it was open, so we never actually always had an arcade. Just before I started working there, they had a renovation, so when they had the renovation, they also made way for a little bit of a arcade section, and we got some of those hoops, we got some of those basketball hoops, and we got a claw machine. We didn't really get anything else. I'm not too sure if they had intended to put more equipment in there, because they did have like this little black velvet box type thing, which I'm guessing is what they do for arcade games, because like arcade places are always quite dark on the inside and everything like that. So I figured, that could possibly be what that black wall was for. I don't know if they were going to extend that or anything like that, but yeah, we did have one in our BK, and I must say the basketball hoops were actually really annoying. When it gets busy and you get like some people coming in with little children, a lot of the time the little kids like to play ball, so the parents will give them $1 or something like that and they'll go and play. Now the annoying thing about it was we'd often get customers coming up to the counter who would ask if they could change like a $20 note to a bunch of coins, which is okay, but it requires managers opening the register, pulling out the money for them, and then sometimes, you know, we might run out of coins because somebody has taken all the coins for the machine. I suppose in a way, like, the money comes back to us anyway. They just want coins for the machine. It's just sometimes like it was a little bit annoying, but that's okay. I mean Burger King chose to put it there, so we, you know, I guess I shouldn't be complaining about that. But anyway, the other thing, actually, the really annoying thing about those basketball hoops was they are super noisy. So I try to be like say I was trying to serve a customer, sometimes I cannot hear because I can just hear those hoops going and going. If you can imagine the noise of a basketball hoop, hitting a basketball hoop over and over again, you probably understand how annoying it would get, especially when they're putting in dollar after dollar and rounds after rounds. It gets a little bit frustrating when you just, it doesn't help with your concentration either. I always have said that when it's really noisy in a workplace, it's really hard to concentrate. Like in my current job, KFC, we always get the after school rush, and let me just tell you, high school kids are very noisy at the end of the day, and it is so difficult to concentrate when there's so much noise, especially when majority of fast foods, I don't even know why, but majority of fast foods, they always echo, and I suppose it's due to it being such a big open space and not exactly having, you know, a bunch of walls to block off the sound and everything like that. It does get very noisy and very hard to concentrate. Yeah, there is actually one more annoying thing with this basketball hoop thing. Because it rains a lot in New Zealand, you know, mud always gets tracked in through the store, and the basketball hoops was always a bad area, like a bad section for all of this mud and footprints and everything like that, because so many people went to that little area. If they had kind of been like walking around through the store, it's okay. It's just, it was kind of all concentrated on the floor in that one section. So it did get a bit frustrating at times, but it was okay. I mean, you know, I don't work there anymore, so it's not my job anymore to clean it. But yeah, we actually also, sorry if you can hear my chair squeaking, I mentioned this in another video, but it's actually a fold out chair. I was contemplating getting a proper office chair, but I don't know why, I kind of like the fold out chair, like the look of it. I think it suits my room, weirdly enough. It's just silver and black, so I think it suits, so I like it. Anyway, what was I going to say? I don't remember. I'm just going to continue talking about this build because I think I have missed a lot of the build. So this item here is one that Ziistel, like these two little playing tables, I think what is it? Don't Wake the Llama, and then the bubble blowers. They were already placed in there by Ziistel. I just added another one, so I wasn't allowed to change the color of them. Or was I? No, I don't think I was allowed to change the color. I was allowed to move them, though. I'm pretty sure I was allowed to move them. So, yeah, we've got those out on the balcony. I decided to just leave it where Ziistel had placed it because it was a nice area to put it. And on the inside, she also placed 2 of those gaming machines. So, I've put those in a little section with a little, one of those electric, like those virtual reality type things. Actually, I don't know how many of you guys have tried virtual reality. I have had one experience with virtual reality. I've had one experience with it, and it was awesome. If you guys have not tried it, you definitely must try it one day. There is it was actually at a theme park I tried it. So over here in Gold Coast at Movie World, some of you guys may or may not have visited Movie World, but they have this ride called the Arkham Asylum, which obviously is Batman, Joker, Harley Quinn and all that. So a couple of years back, I had gone to Movie World, and it's just the roller coaster. And then virtual reality came out, and they decided to add it to the roller coaster. So it's an extra $5, and you get a VR headset. And when you sit on the ride, you wear the VR. It's a roller coaster, so when you sit on the roller coaster, you wear the headset, and it's so cool. Usually when I go on roller coasters, I am somebody who laughs because I find it fun, but I laugh. Like, I know other people scream, I laugh because I don't know, I just do. So I always, you know, I always wonder why people scream on roller coasters, because I don't know what it's like. I don't understand the fear factor of roller coasters, just because I never experience it. So when I was wearing this VR headset, it was the first time I actually ever experienced the fear factor of a roller coaster. I screamed my lungs out when I went on that with VR headset, because it is so much different. It makes a ride go from, you know, go from the very bottom all the way to the top. So basically it starts off, you're sitting in like an orange jumpsuit, like you're in an asylum, and there's a bunch of holes in the roof, and then Joker and Harley Quinn are in the room. Joker starts walking over to you with a gas mask, and he gasses you out. So a while later, your chair starts moving. Obviously the ride has started, which is really funny because I know how the ride starts, and it goes up like on a small diagonal hill, and it goes like really slowly up the tracks. And when you're wearing the VR headset though, it's going straight up, so it's like you're being lifted out of a building through all of these levels, and then it stops at the very top, and there's, all you see in front of you is a big giant hole in the wall, and whatever you're sitting in, I don't know exactly what we're supposed to be sitting in inside the VR headset, but we're in a harness in the VR headset as well. So it starts to slowly move towards the big hole in the wall, and you can literally see, like, you're at the top of the skyscraper, and there's, like, it's pretty much what's it called, Gotham City? It's pretty much Gotham City, and you're coming out of the building, and it is so freaky because it's literally like you're falling out of the hole of the building, and there's like this big gigantic monster that's trying to grab you. And guys, I was so freaked out. Like, you guys have to experience for yourself, or even like search it up on YouTube. There's actually like a little video of the Arkham Asylum Movie World ride VR headset. Like, type that in if you guys want to see what I'm talking about. It's honestly the freakiest thing ever. It's so scary, and it's really funny because it's all cartoon. Nothing looks real at all, but your brain has a funny way of telling you that it's real, that you're actually falling out of a building. Because I was screaming. I didn't think I was going to die, but it was just so scary. Honestly, I would do it again. I would honestly do it again. I actually think that well, I mean, they couldn't exactly do that because not everybody would be able to go on the rides, but I think all rides should be VR headset. It would just be like, honestly, it would be amazing. It would be so cool. I would love to go on the Superman Escape. That would be really cool with the VR headset. That would be awesome. Anyway, we are coming up to the screenshots. No, we're not actually. I lied. We still have 5 minutes left to go. For whatever reason, I thought this video was only 19 minutes long. I've just had a look and it's about 23 minutes long. So I'm going to continue talking for a little bit longer, and then I will probably just end the voiceover just a little bit early because I am actually, personally, I'm getting a little puffed out speaking, just because, as you guys know, I don't know, do you guys think I talk a lot, like talk fast? Because I feel like I do sometimes. It just really depends. But it's also getting like very, very hot, so I'm getting a little bit flustered because usually when I do voiceovers, I have to turn off my earcon because my mic picks up on it and it just doesn't make the recording sound nice, so I've always got to turn that off. I do have like my fan going, but again, that doesn't exactly do much. It kind of just circulates the hot air everywhere. So, especially because I've got to have it on the low setting. If it's on the high setting, then the mic will most likely pick it up as well. I don't actually know if you guys can hear like the noises outside either, if the mic picks that up, but there's like a sprinkler in the neighbor's yard. And it's quite loud. I can hear it from here, but I don't know if the mic is picking it up. Hopefully not. But yeah, anyway, I think I might actually end the voiceover here and let you guys watch the next 4 minutes of it, just with some music. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Also, sorry, actually, before I end this voiceover, thank you to Ziistel for doing this collab to me, with me, and thank you to Chrissy York for creating this collab. It was actually a lot of fun, and yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye! But I wasn't